If you need any Ultimate Team coins, head over to footcoinking.com. There's a link in the description, and if you use my discount code CHES, CHES, as you can see on screen, you'll get yourself an extra 5% off. Hey guys, how's it going? Chez back again with another episode of the Dortmund Career Mode here on Xbox One. It's episode number 26 and we're into the knockout rounds of the World Cup with the German national side. If you missed the group stage yesterday, then check the link in the bottom left hand side of your screen. It will take you to that particular video. Of course, feel free to check the channel page for anything you may have missed. But you guys really seem to enjoy the group stage yesterday. You dropped over 200 likes on that video, and if you could do the same today, that would be absolutely amazing. But we're coming up against a very, very strong Dutch side in this one, and they played, as you might expect, a lot of total 90 football. So they kept total 90 football, just total football. They kept hold of possession very, very well indeed, and it took until the half hour until I was able to actually get out of my own half and create a chance of my own. Fortunately, we were able to stunt their attacks on the edge of the box. They didn't actually create any goal-scoring opportunities, but Marco Reus came very close there. We're going to have another one here. Mesut Ozil wins the header. Unfortunately, the ball comes back off the bar, and Michel Vorm can breathe a huge sigh of relief. They were playing Vorm in goal and not Tim Krul or Celestin, of course, the two keepers they took to the World Cup IRL, but they brought on Klaas-Jan Huntelaar in the second half for Robin van Persie, player that has punished us in the domestic leagues with Schalke against our Dortmund side, but it was a Dortmund player himself that found himself on the end of this chance, and unfortunately Ilkay Gundogan has his shot well saved down low by the Dutch goalkeeper. He's coming up top trumps for them so far, and we stay at 0-0 on the hour mark. He's going to take the corner himself though. He's going to whip it in towards the middle, and it's actually Hooverdes that wins the header, and it just flashes past that near post, and unfortunately we still aren't able to get ourselves in front. But it was a real dominating performance from us in the 90 minutes here. As you can see, Sydney Sam doing the work on the edge of the box, finds Bastian Schweinsteiger, but it's a tame shot, and we know that Bastian has better shots than that in his locker, and unfortunately this time we don't get one of his best. We're still coming, still got time to win it inside 90 minutes. Mesut Ozil's going to find Mario Gomez with a great ball over the top, clean through, just find a finish, and Michel Vorm with another fantastic reaction save, and the ball goes out for a corner, which unfortunately nothing came of. So we're going to have to head into extra time. We only draw 0-0 after 90 minutes. As you can see, the Dutch created nothing. They held a lot of the ball, but they created nothing. So I made a change, brought on Thomas Muller for Mesut Ozil at half time in extra time. Again, the first half was taken up by a lot of Dutch possession. They're actually going to create something here now in the 109th minute. A corner from Kevin Strootman gets whipped in. Jermaine Lons, of all players, is the one that wins the header. Tiny little Jermaine Lons, the winger, but he gets up well, and fortunately Weidenfeller is well behind it. So Sami Khedira is on the ball, trying to play in Thomas Muller down this left hand side. Great feat to get inside, and he's going to find Stefan Kiesling on the edge of the box here. Finds Bastian Schweinsteiger, and he wins it in style. That is what Bastian Schweinsteiger has in his locker. His earlier shot was really, really tame. This one flies into the top corner. 116 minutes in, and we find ourselves with a 1-0 lead. A real true strike from, to be completely honest, one of the best centre mids on the game. Playing with this German national side, it's the first time I've really played with Bastian Schweinsteiger in any sort of consistency on FIFA 14, and let me tell you, he is phenomenal. I am adoring playing with him. I just wish I could afford him at Borussia Dortmund for when we get back to the domestic league for the second season. Unfortunately though, we won't be able to, so we have to make the most of playing with these players that we get with the German national side, and we did so just there. We get through to the quarter-finals of the World Cup, but of course at the same time we've still got some transfer stuff to be doing with the Dortmund team in between games. I thought about putting in a counter offer for Marcel Schmelz here to Man United, but he's progressing quite nicely, still growing. At the end of the first season he was 80 rated, he's now rated 81, so he's still even growing more, so I'm going to keep hold of him. And then Raheem Sterling wants a huge jump of over 200% in his wages. It's ridiculous. So I'm going to offer him 75 rather than the big jump to 110. It's still 25k more than he's on currently, and in fact he's actually going to turn that offer down, but we're trying to free up some extra wages here and some extra finances by sending out some squad rotation players, although Mats Hummels definitely isn't the squad rotation player, and that offer is flat out going to be rejected. But we come into the quarter-final with a 100% strong full starting 11 to play against Italy. So it's not going to be easy. The Italians are, if anything, a stronger side than the Dutch, especially when it comes to in terms of actually playing on FIFA rather than real life. Obviously, the Dutch got a lot further than the Italians in the tournament in the summer just gone, but they beat the Danes, Denmark, in the previous game in the round of 16 with a 2-1 victory. So we know there's a chink in their armour. They have been scored against in the knockout rounds, and we're going to try and do the same to them today. Obviously, we have to if we want to progress. But Julian Draxler comes close there with a nice whipped effort, cuts inside beautifully. Unfortunately, though, can't quite find enough whip on the ball to be able to find that far top corner. But again, it was going to be a case of us having a lot of possession in the opening few minutes. Schweinsteiger slots through Draxler, has another effort. Concili, the goalkeeper, this one, no Sirigu, no Gianluigi Buffon, no Marchetti. It's actually Concili, the goalkeeper, who's in goal for the Italians today. Draxler tries to turn to assist maker here, threading through Thomas Muller, but another good save by the Atalanta goalkeeper down to his left-hand side keeps us out. Julian Draxler was at the heart of everything going forward in these opening 45 minutes or so, but Philipp Lahm is going to be the guy to take the corner. He whips it in. Mats Hummels goes up. Another great save by the goalkeeper. Drops to the edge of the box to Mesut Özil. Setters himself. Has the strike. It comes through a body of players and rifles into the bottom corner. We take the lead just 2 minutes before half-time. And that was a phenomenal strike from Mesut Özil. That's his 4th goal of the tournament so far for us, I think. And this one was better than any of the previous. This great strike bends away from the goalkeeper at the last minute. You'll see it even better from the second angle. The goalkeeper had to wait to dive because it came, as you can see, through so many bodies. Saw it late and it bends away from him. Absolutely no chance, and the German national team take a 1-0 lead, and we're trying to extend that early on in the second half. Marcel Janssen on the overlap stands up a great ball. Muller's brilliant in the air, but the header is straight at the goalkeeper anywhere else, and that's 2-0 and probably game over. But we're pushing on to the hour mark, still on the attack. Jung is coming down the left hand side. It's Jung or Jung or Jung, I'm not sure. Let me know in the comment section how to pronounce that. I know I've got some German followers, so you'll have to correct me because I know my German pronunciations sometimes are a little bit off. Hashtag to Steigen and Wiedenfeller when it's to Stegen and Weidenfeller. But still, we're making a couple of changes. Sami Khedira and Marcel Schmelzer coming on, and they made a change as well, bringing on Verratti. Actually, I think I brought Schmelzer on for Janssen. Yes, that was the change. But we're trying to get ourselves a second goal if we possibly can. But Daniele De Rossi is going to find Marchisio here. They have their first meaningful effort of the game, and that's not too far away, has to be honest. Has to be said. Marchisio with a good shot there. Scored a great goal against England in the World Cup, but was just inches away from getting one for his national side here. But they weren't going to have to wait long. 4 minutes from time. We scored just before the end of the first half. They scored just before the end of the second half. And unfortunately, we're going to be going to extra time yet again. Although we were going to have one final chance of the 90th minute. Obviously, you already know it's not going to go in. But we came within whiskers of winning it in the final seconds. Thomas Muller with a great shot off the base of the post. You cannot get more unlucky than that. And I thought to myself, as we headed into extra time, with a really late equaliser like that, and then a late miss of that nature, it might not be our day. But we made a change. Sydney Sam coming on for Mesut Özil. So I moved Draxler into the middle and put Sam out on the wing to add that extra little injection of pace out wide. And he's going to be on the ball here early on in the first half of extra time. Gets past the tackle once, not twice, or twice, not once, and then stands the ball up into the box. Concili comes and punches, but he doesn't get it too far. Sydney Sam picks it up on it again. Sami Khedira's on the ball with a great strike with his left foot. He puts us 2-1 in front 10 minutes into the first half of extra time. Sami Khedira is not known for his goal-scoring potential, but he scored a couple of goals for us at Dortmund, and I really enjoy using him in that holding role, and he's going to pop up with a second goal in the first half of extra time here. Sami Khedira is the saviour off the bench. 2 goals in 15 minutes of extra time, and we go 3-1 up. And we still weren't done for extra time as the Italian team tired. Muller's going to play in Khedira, find the ball out wide to Schmelz, who of course is our substitute. Perhaps the fresh legs really took their toll because he's going to slot through Muller here. This time he does get it inside the post, and we take a 4-1 lead and a 4-1 win from this quarter-final at the World Cup. Perhaps undeserved, or perhaps we finally got the win that we did deserve with the amount of chances that we had. I'll leave it up to you to decide. Regardless of that, though, we are through to the semis of the World Cup, and we'll find out who we're coming up against in due course. But we get another massive bid for our cover star. It's Marco Reus, but he's going to go absolutely nowhere. Quite possibly the best player we have at the club right now when it comes to overall rating, and one of our most influential players, although of course Alessio Cerci and Adrian Ramos will probably have something to say about that. But as you can see, we're coming up against the holders Spain in the semi-final of the World Cup, and you'll be able to see from the tournament tree that's going to pop up on your screen any minute now. The winners of Germany-Spain will play the winners of Brazil, Colombia. Unfortunately, England got knocked out by the host nation in the quarterfinals in a 2-1 result, and we actually came up against it in this one with Spain. Obviously, they like to keep possession similar to Holland. They were playing kind of total / tick-a-tacker football, and it took until the 44th minute until there was an actual clear-cut chance on goal. Diego Costa smashing it just wide. They were going to have another chance before the half was out, though. Piqué nods it down to Diego Costa, strikes it beautifully off the bar, and Manuel Neuer shows the most amazing reactions as it bounces off the post, off his back. He's literally within centimetres of going across the line, but his cat-like reflexes keep us in the game, and we stay at 0-0 heading into the second half. Javi Martinez, though, going on a rather uncharacteristic run forward, finds himself playing a 1-2 with Pedro, gets inside, has the shot well saved by Manuel Neuer, can't quite get it clear with the man at the back post, it drops to Jesus Navas, and for the first time in the entire tournament, we fall behind. 6 minutes into the second half, and it's Spain 1, Germany 0. We made a couple of changes, bringing on Royce and Sam for the two players out wide, and we were hoping that that was going to mean that we could have that injection of pace in the same fashion that Sydney Sam showed us in the Italian game. And Marco Royce was involved straight away. Lahm's going to play it back to him here. Nice 1-2, drives for the byline. No real space to get across him, but we do pick up a corner. And we've only got 9 minutes left to get ourselves back in the game. As you can see, it's going to be Philipp Lahm again to take the corner, although I did swap it out for Mesut Ozil so I can get a better whip on it with his left foot. An in-swinger rather than an out-swinger, and it swings straight onto Jerome Boateng's head. He powers in a glorious header, and we are back on level terms, and it looks like we're heading towards extra time yet again for the third knockout game in a row. But what a header from Boateng. Honestly, Iker Casillas stood absolutely no chance. You can see from this angle just how good a header that really is. Down off the bar, over the line and into the back of the net. But were we going to extra time? Sydney Sam gets played through over the top. 5 minutes left in the game. Can we snatch a shock winner? Casillas with the save, though, pushes it away. Unfortunately for Spain, it falls to Piqué and not a white German shirt. So we are going to extra time again. Now, will this one be sorted in extra time similar to the previous two? We'll have to wait and see. As you can see, Spain had more possession and more shots, but it's not those stats that count, it's the ones in the top left corner of your screen. And Sydney Sam gets played in behind here, using all of his pace to get towards the byline. And Thomas Muller rises above everyone else, leaning back to head the ball into the back of the net. And in the 111th minute, we find ourselves in front for the first time in the World Cup semi-final. A great burst of pace from Sydney Sam and a wonderful header from Thomas Muller. We said he's great in the air, was unfortunate with the one against Italy. This one just so important, but Spain have got 10 minutes to get themselves back in it. Pedro with a great ball over the top to Negredo, a wonderful volley on his right foot, but he's offside. He's given off literally just half a yard, but it is the correct decision, and we do stay at 2-1. Are we going to get another chance to maybe extend the lead, or are Spain going to tackle us and get on the counter-attack? Mesut Ozil sees the run of Marco Reus over his right-hand shoulder. Nice turn inside to get past Ramos once. A beautiful Ronaldo chop to get past him twice, and he finds the far bottom corner. Germany 3, Spain 1, and we are going to the World Cup final. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Can we replicate Germany's international World Cup tournament win just like they did in Brazil this summer just gone? We'll have to wait and see. Tomorrow will be a live commentary of the World Cup final, exactly the same way we did for the Europa League final. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to that as much as I am to recording it, but that will be recorded today as you're watching this, so I'm going to get my my sweaty boots on, and hopefully we can come away with the German national team win in the World Cup. Leave this video a like, please, guys. If you enjoyed it, that would be absolutely superb if we could get over 200 again. Still, let me know all the suggestions you want in the comment section for signings. As you can see, we're putting in offers and accepting offers all around for loads of different positions, sending some of the youngsters out on loan, perhaps selling some of the youngsters as well. And we're looking for players in every single position. We're putting in bids here for Alex Song. We've put in bids for Ginter and Kagawa, who are two players that have been linked in real life. In fact, Ginter has already signed IRL for Borussia Dortmund for this summer. I'm not going to look at Ciro Immobile, and I know that might be a slightly unpopular decision, but I've played with this team this season on Ultimate Team, and you can, I guess, safely presume that that's the sort of player he will grow into. And he doesn't suit me. I just don't like playing with him. He doesn't suit my style of play, and I'm going to look at other options for that striking role. But I do want a striker, I do want a winger, I want a central midfielder, perhaps a wing back, and hopefully Ginter can fill that rotation centre back role as well. But as you can see, A shock result in the semi-final as well in the other one. Colombia beat the hosts Brazil 1-0, the same scoreline by which they won all of their knockout rounds. 1-0 over France, 1-0 over Sweden, and that single goal victory over Brazil means tomorrow's final will be between the Germans and the Colombians. It's going to be a real test. They're an extremely good side, plenty of pace, and of course a lot of fantastic players. James Rodriguez, Juan Cuadrado, Falcao will probably be involved as well, even though he was injured in real life, so we've got a big test up against this. Of course, they'll have Ospina, Arsenal's new goalkeeping signing, in net for them as well. But that's going to bring today's episode to a close, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe if you haven't, drop me a comment with some suggestions for transfers, and I'll see you next time.